All right, good morning. Today, let's see here. Today is 6/17, June 17th. All right, I want to share a success that I've had. We just finished baling all of our first cutting hay. We finished it up, was it 4 days ago? Finished baling 4 days ago. I'm still picking the bales up, but I'm doing like a history of the field and bale count sort of video, and maybe it'll help you out. I think I stumbled onto something that works and works well. So last year, 2023, we frost seeded this field with an alfalfa clover grass mix. There's 13.5 acres here roughly. It's split. The back half on the other side of that sycamore is soybeans. The front side is a hay mix. We knew last year we were going to have a tight hay supply, so we did some stuff to, like the hay rack and stuff, the bale saver hay rack, to not waste as much, so to trying to get the efficiency down on that side. Well, last fall we started asking, what can we do different to get a better crop if we go into another drought like we had last year. Last year we had a drought, and the wildfires and the smoke was drifting down heavily for about a month from was it Quebec and eastern Ontario, and we just didn't have the hay. And this is the first last year was the first cutting, or first year growth of hay, of just a three-way mix. So last fall I'd saved some wheat, and back that way towards the barns, those 3 acres is where I put in 3 acres of grazing wheat that we tried. We got 21 days, 5 rotations of grazing on it, and that extended me out quite a bit. So this is, my bale wagon isn't great or anything. It's just a homemade job. Yeah, old silage wagon I fixed. So last fall, it was mainly on that side, that the long high side, that I did this. So there was more planted over here than over here, because I got this little ravine to deal with. We interseeded SRW wheat in this field as much as we can until we ran the drill out. I could have bucketed it out. It was untreated, and thrown it in a wagon, sold it, made a couple bucks. But I've read about guys in Kansas grazing wheat, so that's what got us on that kick over there. That worked. And this year, or last fall, so we interseeded wheat in here, and we just finished doing the first harvest. So let's see how we say this. It took us 3 to 4 days to mow it. This ravine slows us down a little bit, and we didn't want to have more knocked down than we could bale in one day. We were staggering it, just so we could, in case it did rain or something, we didn't have a bunch getting ruined. That was our thoughts. That's why it took us 3 to 4 days to do this. We're in a really hot spell right now. It just started when I started dropping this hay. The humidity dropped pretty low, and it kind of feels like maybe we're going into another drought in 24. So I've got my numbers here, and I'm going to show you what the SRW interseeded wheat did for these 13.5 acres. We're going to compare 24 to 23, and I'm going to show you something else when I get done here. So you can see my books. We're here in H3 where the sycamore is, I ended up with 92 round bales. And we're going to go back here to 2023. Okay. So you got first cutting, second cutting, third cutting. All I made off of this field was round bales. I did the math. It ends up being 105 round bales came off of this field. So the straight traditional hay varieties or seeds, however you want to call it, was only 105 bales. And the 24 was not. We ended up with 92 round bales on the first cutting, and that's all the hay data that I have on this field. But I mean, you're comparing numbers, and if I'm expecting to get 2 more cuttings here, I will be. I'll have more than enough already, or near enough right now. And so anything that's second and third cutting will be bonus hay for me. And I was just really impressed with the volume that the wheat added up. So last year, first cutting, you see there was 26 and 30, so that's 56 round bales that came off versus 92. So interseeding the wheat out here in this field really helped. Now the unintended extra win for interseeding it, and this will be a running experiment. When we mowed it, we got lucky. We really got lucky. It's been pushing 80s, high 80s with low humidity. I think we hit 90 the other day when I was baling this. The wind's been blowing, and it's just been dry. I can feel a little bit of humidity. I still got to get these picked up. But when I mowed it, I left the windrows in the tightest setting. And normally on first cutting, I would have the hay spread out thin and wide. Well, I didn't do that. I left it tight and thick. And with the temperature and the humidity and the wind, the wheat straw, the length of it and everything that was laying into the clover and the alfalfa that was in here, it acted as a wick and it sucked all the moisture out. So I didn't have to do any raking on this field. If I had to rake it, it would have added another 4 to 7 days, just because we do it in batches of how much we can get done in a day. It's just me and my dad, and he's 72, 74, something like that. And we're trying not to beat our heads against the wall. Anyway, we both came to the same conclusion, looking at how much hay we got off in this little field without having to do the extra work. I mean, it saved us fuel, saved us wear and tear on the tractors, the tires, your oil, our old wheel rake. Nothing got mangled or anything like that. And in time, just the time that it added to this growing season for us to be able to get it off lickety split and get us ahead, and we'll get that stuff all put up in the barn here. Hopefully it's by the end of tomorrow. I got some other stuff. We're gonna start working on the combine, and it just making the work flow so much better. I mean, it don't look like much. I mean, over here you can see it actually looks like straw. I assume the color is coming through. It's just bright out here. I don't know what it's going to wash out like. But let's go over here to the shady side. I mean, it's just nice tight bales. I mean, they're tight as rocks. And it just baled so much easier than some of the raked hays do, where they're just fluffy and they just don't want to feed it. I mean, it made life easy. So I know from experience, we had some wheat that this was a wheat field several years back, and we what do we call it? We combined it, and then late in the fall we had a lot of wheat regrowth. I'm kind of hoping we'll see some green shoots come back in for the third cutting in here, but I think with where we're at, I might do. This might just be all square bales after this. Over there, on the other side of the tree line, was the wheat that we planted last fall that we baled. I think we got 25 bales off of that. I'm still letting that hay cure. I got it laid out under cover on concrete, and it's going to be there for another week or two. I don't need to mess with it for now. It could be there for a month. But that'll probably be square bales that get sold, and I'm really happy. I really am. I mean, this game of farming, there's so few things that you can control, and you just do. Occasionally, you stumble in and do something right. The cows like the hay. It smells like hay's supposed to smell. It smells good. I would love to have an agronomist, not an agronomist, but a feed rep, bore some of these bales and just give us a feed value. But it doesn't really matter on beef cows. Dairy cows, it's a big deal. I mean, if you head out towards eastern Ohio into Pennsylvania, you got I'm gonna call them the Amish Mennonite kind of communities. It's the poorer areas of the state where folks it's hilly, and folks can run livestock in those hills, and those guys every year they'll plant wheat or barley or I don't know, rye. They'll mow it, and then they'll have somebody come in with like a serger, and they'll put 4 rows into one, and they'll either make it into silage or like wheat leach or whatever, and blow it up in a silo, or they'll bale it and wrap it and ferment it, and they make it work every year. Why isn't the rest of the country doing this? Those guys, those poor areas are the only places that are growing livestock, and around here it's mainly just crop farming. Why can't we combine some of this stuff and expand our sources of income? Is what I'm trying to do. So I don't know. You guys have a good day. That's the ramblings of third generation farmers. So you guys all be blessed.